Action Comics 1006, Brian Michael Bendis writing, Ryan Sook on the art. So this issue, we have another confrontation with Red Cloud,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where Clark actually kind of seems to know who it is, and he follows her, because she tries to attack Melody Moore at the fire
Oh,
station.
I got so worried, Pete.
Did you get word your redhead
I,
was in danger?
I did
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, don't weeden me, Bendis. Don't make me love a character and then just wipe him out to prove a point.
Yeah.
And luckily didn't. And I love that Superman. It's been going around like through Twitter, like people that I follow. We're like, this is like the most Superman Bendis has got to
Yeah,
this
because
point.
he jumps in and he uses his super breath to blow the red cloud away
Yep,
from Melody because she's being
yep,
suffocated,
yep.
and he ends up fighting her and he tries to basically reason with Red Cloud and says,
Hmm.
"Hey, you can turn this around." And he holds out his hand. There's a great moment. It's a great panel where he holds out his hand and
Yep.
says, "You can be better than this. You can redeem yourself."
I'll help you.
It's Superman. It's full on
Yeah.
Superman. Um, there's a lot of great stuff in this. The opening where he's doing his reporting, if you will, and
Yeah.
he's accosting the mayor about the accusations that he said not to investigate the
Mhm.
fires. And the mayor's a dickbag and starts like talking about Lois and like, those pictures of Lois with Lex in the paper. How's your wife, Clark? And he's been just a
Oh,
dick. Um, and obviously Clark knows what's going on, but he's
yeah.
using his super hearing afterwards, and the mayor's freaked out that Clark was asking these questions. He's like, how does he know about this? And they question that Melody's the one who knows and maybe talked because she's the only one who could have talked. I do like that his staff though point out that, but you spoke to her about this at a ball. Like anyone could have overheard this. Like
Yeah.
it didn't
You were
need to be her.
sloppy. That's on you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So I like that.
Also, so we get the scene at the Daily Planet,
Mm.
and Perry's being Perry, and Jimmy starts a story that I just want to know what happens in between because we get the beginning and we get the end, and through the middle of the story, Clark's using his X-ray to look
Mm.
for he's looking for what's her name, right? Red Cloud.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And I have to pull it up because there's a line that
Yeah, it's just
Jimmy
when
says.
Clark says, Jimmy, I'll have to catch up with you later."
Yeah,
Jimmy's like finishing his story, and he says something about having sex with Talia al Ghul was a bad idea.
yeah,
Um,
that's what it was.
and some people have read this as that Jimmy had sex with Talia, and I don't think I'm reading it that way.
No, it's whatever the story was because he says,
Yeah.
"Well, funny thing," and then the X-ray starts, and you get that really cool page of Clark looking through the Daily Planet building
Hmm.
with his X-ray. But yeah, then at the end he says, and that's why I think sleeping with Talia al Ghul was a huge mistake. But everyone is saying, and it just gets cut off. So whatever
Yeah.
the story he was telling, I feel is like whatever sources he had,
Yeah.
like
Stuff's going down. Stuff's happening.
so funny.
Uh.
But then it's also the notes that he has. It says call Miss Al Ghul at 10:15. Talia al Ghul called at 9:15. So I don't know. Maybe the redhead guy is the ginger's a player. I don't know.
No, everything about Superman showing up to save Melody, the conversation, the attempt, and then the hug at the end because she's like
Mhm.
terrified that she almost died. It's all gold. Felt really Superman. Ryan Sook's art's great. It feels. I like the heavy lines. I like how it feels very kind
Mhm.
of
Pulpy.
very
Like I keep
pulpy
saying it.
and confident. Yeah,
Yeah, and I just love that hug page too, where Superman's just like, yeah, that's not the greatest feeling
yeah.
because this is
It's in
her.
silhouette against the backdrop of
Yeah.
the fire. So
I
the door.
so there were the Bendis pictures you were talking about that he put on Instagram,
Hmm.
and it was talking about a romantic rival, right? Now, not that I'm saying like Clark would ever, but do you feel like that Lois would see more as a threat because she's been gone and like they've become close?
Um, I w- I don't think as of yet.
But I'm
Um,
saying, do you think that's a direction that Bendis would take it? Because I like this character a lot, and I don't want her, because I can see her developing a crush on Superman.
yeah, I
You
can
know,
see that, but um,
like,
if it does go down that path, it would have to be well done and justified. Because as it is, you
mhm,
tell me Lois gets jealous of someone because Clark's saving them. I'd be like,
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
just
really want
saying that
that.
because I don't think like we're gonna get a Maxima situation where she comes down and is like, "Oh, Superman's the only one worth mating with me," and we have something like that, or
Mm,
or like a Poison Ivy mind control kind of deal. I just feel like that issue,
yeah.
with what was it, the Queen of Thorns or something, like
Mm,
whatever villain that was.
yeah.
But
I
I
would.
don't know.
I would guess no for now. I mean, Melody
Yeah,
having a crush on Superman, I can totally see.
yeah,
Um, but that could be interesting in the dynamic because she doesn't know because she's met
right,
Clark. She'll meet Clark again. Maybe she'll know Clark is married, but she doesn't know Superman's married. So
exactly.
from
Well,
her
and
point
that's
of view, it's
always too.
different.
People always bring up that panel earlier in the arc where Superman swoops down and kisses Lois, but at that point, Lois is wearing a blonde wig. They're in the
Mm,
middle of Chicago. Like no one knows who Superman's with. So I just feel like Bendis is taking his shots very deliberately. So
yeah.
and it's fun to have a that romantic kind of triangle when it's not Clark and Superman and Lois, but it would be you know
It's more of
I
a
guess that would
square.
make
It's more of a square at
yeah
that
make more of
point.
a square. But
um,
then again, it could just be completely platonic, and Melody just admires him because
yeah.
he is a hero, and like I always associate Superman with a firefighter, and I forget even what book that was in, where someone called him a glorified firefighter.
Oh, wasn't that Batman? I feel that was Batman.
I think so, but yeah.
So we end the book with Good going to the boss of the secret mafia, right?
Mm-hmm.
That secret and this lady Leon is she is like she hates Superman. She we had to change all of our rules when he showed up because and we've been operating for years with under his nose, but we've had to change how we do things. Time was we would just kill someone because they stepped out of line. Now we have to be creative because Superman will like detect us, and then that'll lead
They'll
to our
find
downfall.
us. Yeah.
But it turns out she's the one who's bought the Daily Planet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final page is because you see a lot of like heirlooms, and she's like a collector of like antiques and art and stuff. The final page reveals that she has the car from Action Comics 1, the cover.
Ugh.
Which
I'm not gonna lie.
yes, yeah.
I came home from the shop, and this is the first thing that I read, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table reading it, and my wife's watching Dateline, and I get to that last page, and I did that sound I just did with a fist pump,
Yeah.
and she goes, "What's wrong with you?"
Hold on a second.
And
I have to address this. Connor
uh,
looked disgusted when I said what that final page was.
uh,
Why do you hate this?
Oh, that just stinks of fan service. I don't know. Clearly, this is just me.
you
but,
say stinks, and I say smells amazing.
I,
So
I feel this is no different to me than like half of comic book cliffhangers. We always rely on nostalgia in comic books. Always.
yeah, but this one is particularly egregious.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. If she's been following Superman from the time that he got there, it would make sense that she's collecting mementos.
Look,
You know,
I'm not reading it. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to go, you've got the context. To me, when you just said that then, that was my reaction. There wasn't a planned thing. I didn't know about this.
Action Comics was great this week. I will not hear
Yes.
more words about
Yeah.
any
Like,
such
you
nonsense.
I
mentioned-
didn't say any negative words. I just did a
you
negative
mentioned the
look.
suck art, and I thought like it wasn't a fight scene because it was just the super breath, but I thought that scene was handled really well through the art with him disrupting her because he knows how to fight her now. She got too confident. And
Yeah, because earlier on in the issue, she's saying, "Oh, Red Cloud beat Superman. She didn't lose," and she at the end she's like, "Oh, I survived Superman twice."
I have an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's
And
still
he's like,
cocky. She's
"What?
still cocky
That's
even
so
after
much."
that encounter. But yeah.
Yeah. She's got a lot to learn, and I'm still doubling down that she got her powers from a hero dial or a villain dial, however this works out.
Maybe we'll see.
So, because they brought up the fact that there's people like them popping up in the city, right? Like that's what Leon tells her. Let me find it.
Fact checking. Fact checking.
I have an idea. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm conflating. I'm checking.
Checking those facts. Got a fact check. Well, to wrap this up though from Action, as per usual, the title page has some Easter eggs in it. Notably, a post-it note saying Greg Rucka's writing a unofficial Lois Lane book.
Unauthorized.
Yeah, unauthorized. That was the word. There's also some jokes about Martian Manhunter having an unsolicited past. And then a bunch of stuff about Trish, because it's Trish's desk this time. Trish, the gossip columnist, who's got a lot of stuff about Lois and Lex and various other things. But it was the Lois Lane by Rucka thing that really stood out. I'm like, get announcing that soon, you bastards.
To me now. Give it to me now. Yeah, so I don't know where I got that from. I read over that last page, but maybe I'm conflating it with something that happens in another book later.
Maybe.
So,
what are you giving it, Matt? What are you rating it?
Oh, this was a 9. Solid 9.
Yeah, I agree. I also give this a 9. I thought it was a fantastic issue. Action. You know, it's funny. I love this month's issue of Superman, and I said this is the month where Superman might beat Action, and now I'm not sure because this was another fantastic issue of Action. So.